Hello, it's Vlogmas day 13. It's about 7:30 in the evening, and this is the first time I've switched the camera on to do any recording whatsoever. I worked 10 till 5 today, so I got up at 6 because I really hate being rushed in the morning. I like to just sit and wake up slowly for the first hour. And I was out of the door by about 9:10. And yeah, didn't really get the chance to do any recording after that because I was at work. And I was absolutely starving by the time I left work. I was really hoping someone was going to pick up on the, mum doesn't have to be the one making dinner thing, but oh well. So I got a text from Mr. Stitches to say the boys were working late, so they weren't home yet, and asking me about picking something up for dinner. So I told him to throw some potatoes in the oven so we could have oven fries, and then I picked up some food to go with it at the health food store on the way home. So we have eaten well. Don't usually buy emergency supplies like that. Normally I'm a little more organized with my meal planning and shopping list making and grocery buying, but oh well, sometimes the system breaks down. I remember my mum saying once, I don't know what we were out of, but she said, oh, the system broke down. And I said, what system? And she was like, it's a sign of a good system if you don't know there is one. I guess she's right. So currently, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm sitting in a pink armchair. I put out a request to Facebook a few weeks back and I said, anyone getting rid of an armchair from a non-smoking pet-free home? I might like to donate it for my sewing room so I can make myself a little knitting nook. One of my friends happened to have this armchair. Sadly, it's because her dad died. He chose to have, what do they call it? Medically assisted death. He was 98. He was in a lot of pain, but lucid, and he decided it was time. And so this chair apparently was only ever used in his bedroom just for throwing clothing on now and again. It wasn't really sat in much, so it's really good condition. I didn't care what color it was. Pale pink is fine with me. But I am a little unprepared, shall we say, to put it into the space which I plan to put it into. Because currently I have a big heavy cabinet down there, which is full of all the family photos from goodness knows how many years. And I have my denim collection and some of my knit pieces of fabric and my vinyls up there. So I wanted to, and I should have done this already, really, because I knew this chair was coming. I wanted to get that cleared out and maybe even decorated a little bit nicer so that it would be a nice backdrop for me to sit in and maybe do some recording in. Do I want to tackle that job tonight? Not really. The thing is, if I don't do it tonight, when will I do it? I'm working a short shift tomorrow, but we do need to do grocery shopping. Sunday, I should have a fair amount of free time, though I am meeting some friends for lunch. Maybe I'll make a start on it. I did take this bag. Oh, hit myself in the head with it. I did take this project bag to work with me today because I knew I was going to have a 30-minute lunch break. But I barely got anything done. It's got the last 2/3 of this cake of cottage spun in it. And I looked up the pattern I had made and designed a long time ago for some really basic fingerless mitts for beginners to learn how to make something easy. And in that pattern, I used a 9mm hook. Yeah, 9mm hook with bulky yarn. And all I managed to do at work was a very tiny bit of foundation single crochet, which doesn't even look right. And I'm just going to have to pull it back out because I messed it up. So I don't think I'm going to do foundation single crochet. I think I am just going to chain and then start working my single crochets across. It's only about 15 stitches wide. And then you just work a piece that will go around your hand, and then you do a seam either side of your thumb, leaving a thumb hole. It's the easiest little fingerless mitt wrist warmer idea there is. It could not get any simpler. So I think I'm just going to leave my 9mm and my 8mm hook in there because I wasn't really sure about the big stitches with the 9mm. So I think I'll try 8. And that will be a quick project for another day, so I get some fingerless mitts to match my cowl. I've moved my quilt off the floor, and I think I will start to figure out, actually, here's what I could start with. Make room in the storage closet underneath the stairs to put all of the family photos. That's what I need to start with. So this was a clothes closet when my son used this room as a bedroom, and it did once have folding doors that closed this in, but it hasn't for years. So this massive thing here, I have emptied it out, but in order to get it moved, I'm going to have to ask my sons very nicely to help me move it. And they just got home from a 12-hour day working, so they might not be very amenable tonight. Let's see. I braved the spiders under the stairs and the potential spiders behind this cupboard, which has been here for more years than I can remember. And I vacuumed this area here. A big hole in the drywall there. I think I might put some duct tape across that before I put the chair there, just in case anything nasty decides to crawl out. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say I moved it myself. The boys are tired, they're eating dinner, and they weren't very keen to help, so I moved it out myself. It was heavy, but I inched it out to the utility room. It can be taken outside tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Oh boy, have I made myself a large job here. A lot of clutter that was inside this alcove is now outside the alcove, including my stash of denim. Now to figure out how to fit it back somewhere neatly. Well, it's far from perfect. I put my bins of knits up on the top with some of my vinyl scraps. The denim is behind the chair. There's a bunch of bags there on the back of the door. Some of them are ones I've made, some of them are just reusable totes. Bookshelf holds books, surprisingly, down the bottom, but also polyfill for stuffing toys and amigurumi and patterns, and my little drawer unit with things like needles in. Quilt is waiting for attention patiently on the ironing board there. My threads plus more fabric in there. My sewing table. Yeah, I really need to do something about that pile of paper in the corner. Mannequin and a dress form. Pegboard with various bits and pieces on. My cutting area. Underneath I have stuff from the market that didn't sell and scraps of batting and denim. This is a warts and all, everybody. Are you judging me now? Okay, so this is quilt cotton, sorted roughly in colour by colour. Yarn stash, which isn't that big. I think it's not that big, but it's going to take me a while to work my way through it. My old sewing machine there, the mechanical Janome, and my serger that I recently acquired. These are the baskets with some knitting and crochet tools in and quilting scraps and quilting scraps that I cut into squares and still haven't made into anything. My quilting cottons that are just Christmas. Cotton stash. A couple of project bags. I've got a project bag right here. What's in there? Oh, okay, that's the 10-stitch twist blanket. And what is this one? Okay, I'm taking a better look. So this has all the different colors of, what was this called? Soft Fun. I think that was Scapious Soft Fun. I made myself a yarn advent 2 or 3 years ago. But that's all my colors of that. That's why they're all separated into their own little bag. And this, in dark in this corner, this is my Dora Does festoon shawl using sock yarn. And it uses extended single crochet, I think. And it's been sitting there quite some time now, untouched. And underneath, another little disaster area, there's some different fabrics down there, like vinyl scraps and upholstery scraps and things like that. And then some specialty fabric I got for free down here that's great for making those pack-away shopping bags. A little bit of fleece and quilt cotton, miscellaneous crap. And this has some things I've made or been given that I'm not using and weren't good enough to put in the market. A very old quilt. That blanket that I made some time ago that is probably going to be a gift for somebody when I find an appropriate recipient. And my Yarndale bag there. Went to Yarndale in 2019. So from having nothing to say, I feel like I said quite a bit in the end. I didn't think I had any energy until I started work in here. And of course, I got all motivated, didn't I? It's not looking very pretty, this corner, is it, at the moment? I think I'm going to have to put one of my quilts on the wall behind me, or maybe paint it. That was one of my first thoughts, was maybe get one of those pots of paint from Home Depot where they accidentally mix the wrong colour and they're selling it off for cheap. Excuse me. Getting the sneezies, because I've obviously been getting the dust flying in here. While I was at work today, I did hunt around as much as I could for something to tie the layers of that quilt together. There were some really cute beads, like glass Christmas trees, or little red, white, swirly peppermints, or just some glass stars in red and green and clear. But they're pretty expensive. Even with my staff discount, they're expensive. So I'm having other thoughts now. I did consider on the way home, I had this idea pop in my head that I might get some cream embroidery thread and just embroider a snowflake in the middle of each of these red diamonds. I may not even need to buy it because I do have a stash of embroidery thread somewhere. It should be in one of those hanging pods on the pegboard. So maybe I will see whether I have a nice off-white I don't want stark white against the red when all of the fabric blocks are sort of a vintagey off-white. So I'll see what I've got. And if I have time tonight, I'll probably start crocheting these mitts. Mr. Stitches and I did start watching an animated movie on Roku after dinner, which was quite entertaining, called Son of Bigfoot. Bit silly, but we kind of got stuck into it. But we turned it off because I needed to do some other things. And as it turned out, the other things have really turned into a lot of other things. Anyway, I'm waffling now. So no crafting actually physically finished today. A lot of thinking about it and a lot of preparing for more. I'm hoping this is going to be a nice little nook for knitting and crocheting and talking to you vlog people. But it does need prettying up a bit. I'll get there. I'm just amazed I fitted everything that was in this niche somewhere else, because it was looking a bit dodgy there for a bit. So I'll say good night for now, and hope to see you again, same place, same bat channel tomorrow. Bye for now.